We have 2 episodes left in this show. I've always tried to be honest with my audience, and right now is no exception. I don't know why I'm bothering. This one features 2 people that I really like, Don Knotts and Arlene Golonka. And it's a terrible fit for this show because once again, we're going to go through the entire story and Sally's ESP won't be mentioned at all. It's clear that we know our days are numbered and we just don't give a.
What'd I tell you, Kiki?
Not to fall in love because you're not the marrying kind.
No, I mean about the food.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sally makes the best avocado and bacon sandwiches.
Hey, Sally, people really do appreciate you.
Thanks, Chair.
What, you got a bet on or something?
Well, Kiki was hungry.
And Jerry told me he knew this terrific place that was open all night.
They would rather be closed all night, which is to say sleeping, but neither of these 2 seems able to take a hint.
I'm developing a passion.
You son of a gun.
Yeah, it's a passion for sleeping all the way through the night without a single interruption.
Well, we're not disturbing you, are we?
Whatever made you think that, Jerry?
Well, it was something you said. If I'm wrong, just come out with it. Tell me I'm wrong. Just say you're wrong.
You're not wrong.
Is that subtle enough for you, Jerry?
Oh, maybe it is time for you guys to go. You know, it's late and all that. Kiki, it was really nice seeing you again. Keep up the good work and all that.
And you can count on me.
For what?
You really do make terrific sandwiches. I'll recommend you to all my friends.
Great, Kiki.
Don't do her any favors. That's our opening scene, and it has nothing to do with the rest of the episode. I can let that go. A lot of shows did it just to get the viewer roped in. They kept doing it because it works. John is frustrated because they've had people drop in 4 times just this week. They need some time alone. But Sally feels guilty telling people no.
But see, I understand, and I think John's right.
Well, you know, we both love you and all
Sure,
that.
so what? So we make it up another night. No problem.
Look, I'll open the store early tomorrow.
You don't have to make it up to me, okay?
Okay.
However, somebody has to open up early. Thanks.
I think one reason I like Annie so much is she's an opportunist, just like me.
Ooh, I thought the Super Bowl was over with.
Dude, I know she's gorgeous and one of the nicest people in the world, but introduce yourself first.
Well, you almost fell on that hole.
My gosh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you saved my life.
Yeah, that's right. I did, didn't I?
I don't know what I could say about Don Knotts that hasn't been said many times. He started out doing ventriloquism in high school, and when he graduated, he decided to go to New York and try his hand at show business. New York wasn't very nice to him, and he gave up and went back home. But then came World War II, where he was part of the Special Services branch of the Army. He spent the war entertaining troops, and that was when he dropped the ventriloquist act and went for straight stand-up. After the war, the Army gig helped him break into show business, and he became a legend. Many of us know him from the Andy Griffith Show and Mayberry RFD, where he made the character of Barney Fife a household name and developed his characteristic nervous little guy character that served him well for the rest of his life. Today his name is Lionel, and he may be the most insecure person she's ever met. He's working as a substitute mail carrier, and he has to get going to finish his rounds. Sally wants to do something for him, so she invites him to dinner that night. Oh, John is going to love this.
Oh, no, the post office didn't fire me because I saved your life. It had more to do with the not-so-swift completion of my appointed rounds.
How did it happen?
Well, one of the construction men saw me rescue you, and he offered to buy me a drink.
Oh?
I don't like to drink, but more than that, I don't like to say no to a 6'4", 250-pound person.
The post office fired him for not finishing his route, but they were kind and gave him an aspirin when they learned he'd been drinking. That's probably a union rule.
Where's your little boys?
Oh, well, we don't have a little boys, but we have a nice unisex bathroom upstairs, and we have some aspirin in the cupboard.
Oh, thanks.
Do you get the feeling that life has pounded this guy into the ground?
Hi,
honey.
Honey, I had the most exhausting day.
I had quite a day myself.
Boy, the only thing that kept me going was the thought of when I get home, I could relax and just be alone with you.
Yeah, well, I think I should tell you something.
Wait, not a minute more. I'm going to take off
Yeah.
this tie.
I was walking along
Get out of
today,
this jacket.
and there was this...
John, shut up for a second. Sally, stop pussyfooting around and spit it out. All you have to say is, we have company. You can give him the details later.
hole there where they're digging and
Yeah.
putting pipes and
Honey,
things
could
in.
we talk about later? I want
And
to take a nice
the
hot bath and
funniest
get into my
thing
pajamas, huh?
happened. You
Well,
won't
we can
believe it.
talk later,
Just,
huh?
you know,
I promise you and I'll be all alone. Bye.
Or you can both keep babbling incoherently at each other and let John discover it on his own.
At first, I thought I wasn't cut out to be a professional man. Then I went to meat cutter school.
How'd that work out?
I fainted during the liver lecture. I guess I really didn't like working with meat.
I don't blame you.
But it killed two birds with one stone.
How so?
Well, it ruled out being a surgeon at the same time.
He's afraid saving Sally's life is the high point of his. The reality is he has no life. He grew up in an orphanage in Appalachia and has just been downhill ever since.
Well, it's getting kind of late.
Say, why don't Sal and I drive you home?
Oh, gee, thanks. I'm in no hurry.
Well, we'd love to drop you off.
Well, to tell you the truth, since I lost my job and couldn't pay my rent, I don't have any place to be dropped off at.
We know what's coming next. Go ahead and stay here, sleep on the couch. He prefers the floor, but the important part is the roof over his head.
I've never known anyone with so little confidence.
Yeah. So much reason for it.
John, you've just got to help him.
Sally's problems go pretty far back.
Yes, but his immediate problem is work.
I'll ask around at the office. Maybe somebody might know of something, but I can't imagine what he's qualified for.
I'm gonna say something simple and repetitive. Something where he knows exactly what's expected of him and exactly how to do it. Like factory worker or race car driver.
Whatever it is, it's okay.
I'm no good. I just break things.
It doesn't matter, Lionel.
Was it valuable? The little glass bottle in the special case?
That would be this glass case that Sally was polishing so carefully. That little bottle is a relic from Roman times and it's over 2,000 years old. I'm not going to ask why it was on the coffee table and not on a shelf somewhere, but right now it's
over there, and up there.
Hi, Ange.
Jer?
I bet you think that I just came over here to make some kind of an indecent proposal.
Crossed my mind.
Well, it did mine, too. But actually, I'm here as a consulting specialist
I'm not going to ask about what.
to lend a little expertise on a very delicate matter, the bolstering of a male ego.
I think Angela would agree with me that Jerry's ego is already a little too boosted, but he's not talking about himself.
It's a really swell little guy who hasn't enjoyed some of the advantages some of us have.
I'm not going to ask what those advantages are.
Well, in that case, would you announce me, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Jerry.
It's my considered opinion that Angela is one of the most underrated supporting characters in the history of television.
That's good. You know, you got good height and a good voice. With a couple more pounds, you'd make a great Ed McMahon.
Jer,
Yeah?
go in.
She likes doing that to him, too. You can't blame her.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Jerry.
Listen, I've been thinking about Lionel's problem, and I got it all solved.
Yeah?
You got him a job?
Well, what does he need, money or confidence?
Both.
You concentrate on the money, I'll take care of the confidence.
Sounds like Jerry's solution is in the area of interpersonal relations.
If that's another way to say a girl, you're right.
The girl he has in mind is Amber. Well, if Terry Garr can't get his attention, his problems go way beyond anything they can help him with.
I didn't know we were coming to this park.
Yeah. What's wrong with here?
Well, it's so open.
Couldn't we go back to your place?
Well, that's the whole idea of a picnic, to get out in the open.
We're gonna have fun.
You think so?
Trust me. Wait till you see the terrific food I made.
Lionel isn't convinced. He's not used to having fun. He may not even be sure what it is.
What's wrong with her?
Oh, nothing. She's a lovely girl.
Yeah, but she acts like she likes me.
Well, she does.
Well, how could I respect a girl who liked me?
That's the thing about Amber. She doesn't care if you respect her. She thinks you're cute. That's all you need.
Yeah, you girls ready?
All set.
Well, how do you like it?
Oh, I like it fine, but I think I better go. Why? Well, all these wide open spaces, it gives me claustrophobia.
What are you talking about?
I can't explain. I just got to get out of here.
I can only think of one thing that would make a guy act like that. The lady in the bushes is a process server.
I just dropped by to see how things were going. What happened to him?
He just took off like a rabbit.
I never saw a rabbit that had that bad a sense of direction.
I'm all upset.
What happened?
Something that's never happened before.
What?
Nothing.
This has never happened to her before. Jerry will take off to, comfort her. He's a good friend that way.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Was that Lionel Carn I just saw you with?
Yes, it was.
Would you give him something for me?
Sure, what is it?
His engagement ring. I'm giving it back. The green on my finger, I'm keeping.
Okay, so there are two things that would make a guy act like that. A process server and the prospect of marriage. I can't believe the Lionel we know would even muster the courage to buy a ring, much less propose to someone with it. Her name is Eleanor, and Sally wants to learn more.
Look, I don't want to talk about it, Sally. Sally. But if you care for him once... Well, it's not a matter of caring or not caring. It's him. He just can't care for himself.
I admit his confidence is a little low at the moment.
You call that low? Well, he went out today. That's a good day for him.
He's depressed. He just lost his job.
He's ducked out on her 3 times now. She's decided she can take a hint.
You know, he might be afraid he won't be able to support you.
No, Sally. He's afraid of trying. I mean, as long as he does nothing, has nothing, is nothing, well, he won't fail anymore.
Al, isn't that a little harsh?
Look, he says he won't make a commitment. So I say, so long, Lionel.
And if he were to ask you to marry him again?
I'd accept in a flash.
That's what I thought.
We've all known someone like Lionel. Shoot, I've been Lionel. I went to Bible college and grad school with the intention of becoming a Bible teacher. When I was looking at places to do my master's, the place I finally settled on told me there were hundreds of schools where I could teach with it while working on my doctorate. I was really excited, and I finished the degree in 2 years, including a thesis that is now a published book. I got my sheepskin and sent out over 200 resumes. 3/4 of them didn't even respond. The ones that did said they only took PhDs. The most interesting one I got was from Liberty University. You know, that place where Jerry Falwell's crowd teaches an absolutely vicious brand of Christianity. This guy didn't even respond to my resume. He complained and lectured me about how I folded the letter. Gotta love priorities. Anyway, I was talking with one of my profs one day, and I expressed my frustration at not being able to find a teaching job. He said, "Oh yeah, for teaching an MA from here is worthless." That ripped the rug out from under my whole life and threw me into a 10-year depression. I felt worthless. Everything I had worked for was an illusion, and I was the same useless failure I had been all my life. So yeah, I know Lionel very well.
Well, we are alone.
Just what we wanted.
Yeah.
We can just be alone.
Yeah, all by ourselves. Just alone.
You too?
Me too.
They're worried about Lionel, but they don't need to. He's perfectly safe. Annie just called. He's at the store.
What's he doing there?
Cowering.
Poor guy.
Cowering under the stairs, more specifically. Why not? It's the right size for it.
Why did you run away from Eleanor?
Oh, well, she just want to talk or get married.
And you don't want to talk or get married?
Oh, it isn't that. It's just I'd be no good at it. I'm no good at anything.
Lionel, let me tell you something. If you can be a success at only one thing, and that one thing is love, you'll be on your way to being a happy man.
There's a lot of wisdom in that. Does he love Eleanor? Oddly enough, she won't ask him that question.
Really?
Really. All the rest is just trimming.
Are you sure I can do it?
No. But I'm sure if you don't try, you'll never know.
I've tried a lot of things. Being a writer, being a teacher, being a farmhand, being a computer wizard, being a milkman, being a preacher, being a scholar, being a scuba instructor, being a YouTuber. In my teens, I tried to be a cartoonist. With that one, I discovered that I had everything I needed except talent. I wouldn't mind trying my hand at stand-up someday. But you know the most interesting thing about all of those excursions? In terms of income and career, not one of them paid off. This makes me a little money, but I'm not in it for that. Everything I've tried, I've learned something from that I could take to the next one and beyond. Mostly, they taught me things about myself, such as my lack of drawing talent. So Lionel, marry the girl, pick something and try it. If it doesn't work, pick something else and try it. You'll learn something from everything you try. You already learned something important from the post office job. If someone wants to buy you a drink, stick to root beer.
Oh, how can I get married? I mean, I don't belong to a church. I don't know a minister. I got no best man. It'd be impossible.
Are those really the best excuses you can come up with? Okay, let's take them in order. No church. So what? You can have a wedding anywhere. No minister. Ever hear of a justice of the peace? No best man. Hello, John is right here.
Yeah, well, I don't want to interfere or influence you. I mean, it's your life. But if those are your only problems, you've got no problems.
What do you mean?
Well, you can get married at our place. We'll get the minister, and John could be your best man.
Okay, Lionel, what else you got?
I don't even know what would be a good time.
How about 4 o'clock Sunday?
Good grief, those really were the best excuses he could come up with.
Well, I bet you thought this day would never come. Oh, no, I knew Sunday would get here.
She's talking about your wedding day.
Well, I've had wedding days before, but I've never had a wedding.
Today you're going to.
Well, to make sure, why don't you guys guard the doors so my little escape artist won't make a break for it, huh?
Well, John's going to take care of that.
I always enjoyed seeing Arlene Galanka. I talked about her when we saw her in The Flying Nun. Most people of my generation know her as Millie on the Andy Griffith Show and Mayberry RFD, where she also worked alongside Don Knotts. She usually played the ditzy blonde, kind of like right now. I've heard worse. He's a friend of Jerry's. Oh, he's a real minister, but he's also a friend of Jerry's.
I'm reminded of a story that I heard the other day. There was this Irishman, Englishman, and Italian. And they got together and they had a gig. You dig? He played the sweetest music this side of heaven.
Again, I've heard worse. And his little story makes a lot of sense. To get together and play sweet music, first you all have to be playing the same song. But then you have to listen to each other and learn how to blend from individual voices into a true combo. I can dig it.
So So if there be anyone among you who could show just cause that these two people should not be united, let him now object or...
I object.
Overruled.
Let's keep our cool, brother. I've been told that the two-finger thing is a rude gesture in, I think it was Australia, but I can't remember if it's rude this way or this way.
Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the state of California and the Musicians Union Local 47, I now pronounce you man and wife.
Jerry grabs his horn. It's time to dance.
Okay, let's dance.
Now, wait a minute. Just hold it a minute. From now on, I make the decisions.
Oh!
Okay, let's dance.
Look at that. Lionel actually knows how to smile.
Sal, as head of this household, I would like to dance.
Well, John is head of this household. You know how it goes.
All right. This 50% would like to dance.
Well, this 50% would be delighted.
That was one of the big lies that came out of the 60s and early 70s. Marriage is 50-50. If you want to do it right and do it the way that lasts, you do 100-100. You give 100%, your spouse gives 100%. If you're doing 50-50, you're missing out on half of life.
What are you doing for dinner?
Oh, if it meant those two became a couple, I would take out a buttload of loans to make a spinoff for them myself. What does any of this have to do with Sally and her something extra? It was a fun episode, I'll give it that. Then again, it's hard not to be fun when you have Don Knotts as your feature character. And he had to feel privileged. I mean, how many guys ever get to tackle Sally Field? That go a lot. Army gig. All right, be ready for the line. Substitute male character